Daniel Dubois returns to action on June 5th against Bogdan Dinu. We all love the name. Now, my initial reaction to this is, am I disappointed? I mean, Daniel Dubois is coming back from supposedly a really bad injury. I know people are talking about the fact that no X-ray has been produced or anything like that to prove that he actually had this fractured eye socket. So that's what I'm going to say. It's a claim. And if it is true, then I can't blame him too tough for coming back against this type of opponent. Bogdan Dinu, of course, has lost 2 fights against Jarrell Miller and Kubrat Pulev. From what I've seen of Dinu, and I think it's those 2 fights, that those are the only ones I saw of Dinu. Does he have anybody else on his record who I know? Baholi, I've watched him before. Who else have I seen here? Definitely seen this Baholi guy. Who else did he fight? He fought some other Lucas Brown. I think it was the Lucas Brown fight I saw. Baholi against Lucas Brown. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that fight. I think that was a good fight, actually. But yeah, Bogdan Dinu has fought Baholi, Kirsten Manswell. Okay, I know him. He's a journeyman. Quite a few people have knocked him out. Nascimento, I know him. And Machinima. He's a South African fighter. I think he was one of the last people to fight Corey Sanders. Yeah. Anyway, the 2 fights I've seen for Dinu were Kubrat Pulev and Jarrell Miller. Dinu did have a pretty extensive amateur background. So he's competent in terms of his technique and his form and all that kind of stuff. But he's one of these fighters who just doesn't appear to have the requisite mindset, the internal fortitude, the right kind of internal constitution to make it at any serious level in boxing. Not that his physical attributes and his skill are anything to write home about, but I do remember in the Jarrell Miller fight, he was actually boxing quite well for a couple rounds and Miller was struggling to pin him down. But once Miller did turn up the heat, Dinu didn't really appear to have much heart for battle. And the same situation was the case in the Kubrat Pulev fight. So this is a guy who, kind of similar to Eric Molina, he does have some ability, but he doesn't have the heart to really follow through on the ability. So Daniel Dubois should be able to win this with relative ease. He should be able to control things with his jab. He should be able to intimidate Bogdan Dinu with his punching power. And maybe it will be a case of Dinu testing the waters early to see if Daniel Dubois maybe still has any demons from the Joe Joyce fight. Of course, Bogdan Dinu will be aware that Dubois lost his last fight. And that's often what happens, particularly with a young fighter, when he returns to the ring, is against a veteran. Could I call Bogdan Dinu a veteran? I mean, he hasn't had that many pro fights, but he certainly has an extensive amateur background, and he's 34 years of age. It could be a situation where he tries to test Dubois early and see what he has and see where he's at mentally. But yeah, I'm not expecting much. It's a 12-round bout. I'll be surprised if it goes that. I'm thinking Daniel Dubois stops Dinu inside 5 rounds, 5 or 6 rounds. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this an acceptable comeback opponent, or did you expect better for Daniel Dubois? He certainly can't stay at this level if he wants to go anywhere and if he wants to progress and do things in boxing. But he has, as far as I'm aware, switched trainers. He'll now be working with Mark Tibbs. So they will need some of these kind of fights to help transition him over to a new style possibly. Although with Mark Tibbs, I can't see Dubois' style changing that radically. I personally would have liked to have seen him with maybe an American trainer, somebody who can loosen him up a bit get him to move his upper body a bit better, because Daniel Dubois is very rigid and upright. They could get somebody to work on flexibility, fluidity, and that kind of thing. A little bit, I dare not use the word slickness, but you know what I'm talking about. You're never going to turn Daniel Dubois into Tyson Fury, but you can definitely work on making him a bit less stiff and a little bit more fluid. You can do that. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Daniel Dubois versus Bogdan Dinu.